In Metal Gear Solid 2, when heading down the long hall of Deck 2's port, we can encounter a guard patrolling the dimly lit area. If Snake goes into this room and presses against the wall, it will trigger a pipe to fall over and this unique encounter.
Somebody there? Who's there? Don't sneak up on me like that. Nah, it was just my imagination playing tricks on me.
In Metal Gear Solid 2, at the beginning of the Tanker chapter, Snake can find some pentazamine, a drug used for stabilizing the sniper scope in the game. This is odd because we can't find a sniper rifle anywhere at all on the Tanker, but if you call Otacon, he will inform you of its other benefits, which Snake blindly believes.
You have pentazamine in your inventory. If you need to take some, select it in the item window and push the enter button. Pentazamine is a mild tranquilizer used to treat clinical depression, obsessive-compulsive behavior, and anxiety. It belongs to the benzodiazepinate family, and along with its antidepressant and anti-anxiety qualities, it suppresses convulsions. Take it when you have a tough shot ahead with a sniper rifle, and you need to minimize shakiness. But I guess you don't have one of those yet. Well, you can also try some if you're feeling really seasick.
Otacon, I took the pentazamine and you're right. The seasickness is gone.
Wow, really?
What do you mean, really? You said...
Drugs are mostly about placebo effect. If you believe it's effective, it is. You're more naive than I thought.
In the Tanker chapter of Metal Gear Solid 2, inside the engine room, we will be tasked with getting past the guards in a pretty large open area. If you have the grip strength, you can sacrifice a tiny bit of health and use this rope to get across more quickly. Up to the player on if this is more efficient, but I can tell you that it took me over 10 years before I realized that this rope was even there. In the original Metal Gear Solid, we meet Mei Ling, a Chinese-American data analyst and MIT student who personally designed many of Snake's most critical equipment items. She's in charge of saving the game as well, pretty much acting as a record keeper for Snake, during which she would offer proverbs and sayings to keep your spirits up and bestow wisdom on the player.
Snake, remember what the Gaul said. The graveyards are full of indispensable men. Snake, you're all alone and surrounded by bad guys. Try to be careful and avoid getting into a fight whenever you can.
You're right. Wow, you know all sorts of great quotes, don't you?
Well, both my parents are from Guangdong, China, but I was born and raised in America. I've always liked reading literature from both sides. Kinda keeps me in touch. I'll share some more quotes with you if you like.
I'm looking forward to it. But to tell you the truth, I'd like to learn more about you.
Well, I'll think about it.
Fans were dismayed, to say the least, at her removal from Metal Gear Solid 2, as Otacon seemed to fumble this task, ignorant to the advice he was giving to Snake.
Hey Snake, what's hardest won, most easily lost? It's time, get it? Amazing how relevant these Chinese proverbs still are. Once the moment's gone, it's gone. Except for daylight savings time, of course. That extra hour to do anything you like with every autumn. Gotta love it. Then again, you lose an hour every spring, so I guess the proverbs are right. Wow, they thought of everything.
Did they even have daylight savings back then?
Of course not. They knew how to save time. We're the ones that need to be tricked into it.
Yeah, but you said...
The moment never returns, Snake. Let's not waste it on idle questions.
Okay.
This gets worse the more you save the game. Snake even brings up Mei Ling and seems to miss her take on things.
The Chinese have a proverb that goes, scholars hold in esteem knowledge, not acts. See, they just sit around thinking instead of actually doing something, which doesn't make them too useful. Action is what matters, I think.
Look, what I heard from Mei Ling was that...
Snake, have you noticed that you bring her up a lot?
Huh? That isn't the...
Here we go again. What am I gonna do with you?
Like I was saying,
You and your hyperactive libido. It's a good thing one of us can keep all the details straight.
If you save enough times, Mei Ling actually will make an appearance. Well, she will use a burst transmission to correct Otacon on his terrible behavior.
Snake, do you know the Chinese proverb, care avoids error? Error is thought to be a Kung word, meaning what? There's some linguists who think that this accounts for an almost universal utterance of the syllable when people are at a loss for words. A kind of vestigial...
Hey! What a crock! What did you do with that little cheat sheet I made you? Oh, there it is. Hey!
That's really,
How could you do that? You know how busy I am and you...
It's not what you think.
Oh? So what am I thinking?
what's going on over there?
Oh, hi, Snake. Do you know that Otacon's been...
Mei Ling, we're in the middle of a mission and everything, so can we, you know...
Fine. Sure. And Snake, the real meaning of care avoids error is that if you're cautious, you can avoid making serious mistakes. Even if you've gotten used to the mission, watch what you do. Good luck.
Yeah, Snake, good luck.
You, I'm not done with.
Yeah.
Let's discuss this, shall we?
What happened to Mei Ling?
She got mad and went offline.
What did you do?
Nothing. Now, don't we need to get back to the mission? So much to do, so little time.
In Metal Gear Solid, we meet Meryl Silverberg, a tough, no-nonsense prisoner on Shadow Moses Island. This is not the first time we have seen Meryl, though. As in Hideo Kojima's previous work, Police Knots, she appears, claiming to be a remnant of the Foxhound Special Unit from Home, which is Earth for the most part in Police Knots, complete with paint-on tattoo. This version of Meryl also claims to like men, but not in that way, something we hear her express in Metal Gear Solid, though it was due to gene therapy, as we see Meryl ultimately get married to Johnny Sasaki by the end of Metal Gear Solid 4. I like to think that Kojima was working on Metal Gear Solid's story for quite some time. He clearly did. I guess this explains why we see Meryl in Police Knots, as there are plenty of Metal Gear references in the game, some as early as the intro with the Solid Snake neon sign. Either way, it is always fun to see where characters come from and what their inspirations are. Diving through Kojima's work to find these things out is a good adventure, and I highly recommend it. In Metal Gear Solid 3, we can spot a few things before the game even kicks off, starting with what game we choose for the start. Choosing MGS-1 will grant some more stamina, and choosing MGS-3 will give us all the special camos right off the bat. If we decide to go with MGS-2, however, the cutscene changes a bit. The crew will refer to Snake as Jack, and we can notice his blonde hair throughout the plane scene. Once on the ground, it's revealed that Raiden is who we have been watching. Of course, this is just a troll from series creator Hideo Kojima, as many fans didn't care for the bait and switch with Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2. This will grant a special cutscene where Snake sheds his skin.
Oh, and Snake,
Yeah,
the crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
good idea. This isn't right. Time for the snake to shed his skin.
On the helmet Snake is wearing, we can see the game's name, Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater, a lovely self-insert Easter egg. That's not the only symbol we can spot either. While parachuting, if we look up in the first-person view, we can see the Fox logo hidden under the chute. When a game starts with this many small cool bits, you know you are in for a treat. In Metal Gear Solid 2, if you take the time to watch the screen that is showing the Commandant's speech, you can actually see Gerlugovich's soldiers getting ready to make an entrance.
Leak to other nations would make that contingency likely. But if this theory is correct, it means that there was a calculated intent to cash in on this opportunity by specific interests within the military-industrial complex. We are here today to flush out and rid our country of these corrupting forces. That is our mission. You will bear that in mind. Ours is not the only military project devoted to Metal Gear development.
In the Tinker chapter of Metal Gear Solid 2, Snake is tasked with taking photos of Metal Gear Ray. If we instead turn our attention to Marine Commandant Scott Dolph and send pictures of him instead, Otacon will become quite frustrated.
So, any codec moments from you, Snake? The first one I'm seeing is... Hey, this is the Marine Commandant. Are you a fan or something? The next one's... the Commandant again. Look, if you like him so much, I'll print this out and make a panel out of it. Put it over your bed or something. What's next? Will you please stop sending me pictures of the Commandant? Next up is... will you please stop sending me pictures of the Commandant? And the next one is... what is this? Snake, this isn't a game we're playing here. So, what's the last one gonna be? Snake, get serious, will you? We need those pictures.
In Metal Gear Solid, when climbing through the first floor basement ventilation shaft on our way to see the DARPA chief, we can peer down into the neighboring cell to see Meryl working out. If we leave 3 times and come back, Meryl will be in her underwear while doing the workouts. This is slightly changed in the Twin Snakes, the GameCube remake of Metal Gear Solid, in which we would only have to leave once and come back to see Meryl in her skimpies. Leaving and coming back will cause her to change up her exercises, switching between wearing pants and going fancy free. In Metal Gear Solid 3, Snake Eater, we can do a lot before the game even starts. Pressing R1 or right bumper will play a whispered Snake Eater line from the singer. If you input the Konami code before the intro begins, the credits will change to the team that made the intro. Moving the thumbsticks will move various symbols on the screen and control the movement of the credits, while pushing the sticks will change the logos and the color. Once we make it to the title screen, we can control the color, texture, speed, and optical zoom of the action happening on screen. Just a few fun things to do before starting up one of the greatest games of all time.
Squeeze my hog.